If I asked you to think of a speedrun category, you'd probably imagine any percent, or maybe glitchless. There are many categories in the speedrunning world, all bosses, no major glitches, 100%, but there's one category that towers above the rest. Or should I say, below. Low percent is a category infamous for ridiculous glitches and high difficulty. I recently got the world record in Bioshock's low percent category, and today I'm going to share the madness that is Bioshock's low percent speedrun. Any percent, 100%, low percent. They all have this percent, but what the heck is a percent anyway? To oversimplify it, a percent is just a thing you can pick up or collect while playing a game. Imagine a simple game. Let's say it has 50 things you can get. In the category 100%, you need to collect all 50, so 100% of the things. In any percent, it doesn't matter how many things you pick up. The point is, you can collect any percent of the things. And low percent literally means beat the game with the lowest number of things possible. This restriction makes it harder. It's like running through with your hands tied behind your back. But it's still possible. That's low percent. In Bioshock, things like weapons, plasmids, and tonics count as a percent. But infinite resources like ammo and money do not. If it seems a little complicated, don't worry. I have it all in color-coded spreadsheets. Which is good, because there's 347 things that count as a percent. How many can we get in the run? Just 1. That's right, 1. It's possible to beat the entirety of Bioshock with only the wrench. Usually playing a game with a huge restriction like this would be a challenge run YouTube video. They're really difficult, and it's considered an achievement to beat it even once. But to be completely honest, beating Bioshock with only wrench is not that hard. I could walk around hitting every enemy 100 times until they die, but playing like that is just tedious and not that fun. That's why I'm going to speedrun it. I'll add in crazy glitches to skip cutscenes and fights. Playing like this makes it fun and exciting, rather than tedious. All these glitches make the run more difficult, but that's the whole point of speedruns. Mastering a game and being able to do what others think is impossible. So let's step into the madness and begin the run. I pick up the wrench and break the debris. We should savor this moment while we still can. This will be the one and only thing I pick up for the rest of the game. I walk up the stairs and am met with the first obstacle, a door that can only be opened with the Electrobolt plasmid. But Electrobolt counts as a percent, so I can't get it. I'm less than 5 minutes into the run, and I already need a game-breaking glitch to continue. Welcome to low percent. If I can't open the door, I'll have to just go through it. This is the first tool we need to complete the run, a wall clip. In Bioshock, if you walk onto a splicer's head, you stay on top. In this state, we have no collision with walls and doors. Here, I'll use this pneumo tube to get onto the splicer's head. I have the splicer approach at an angle closer to the door. Then I walk onto his head. I flick my mouse down while attacking. This kills the splicer and forces his body to fall into the door. And because I have no collision with doors, I pass right through. This is a wall clip in Bioshock. In the next room, Atlas tells me to zap him and whack him, but I just whack him. Zapping isn't allowed in this category. After an elevator ride, I approach a cutscene. When I pass through this hole in the wall, it begins. I could sit here for a few minutes and watch it, but remember what I mentioned earlier. Cutscenes are boring. I want this run to be exciting and fun, so I'll do an extra wall clip to save some time and avoid the cutscene. I have this splicer chase me, and make sure she's a specific distance away. Too close or too far and the setup won't work. I do a jump sequence onto this bathroom stall, and the splicer is in the perfect spot. I walk onto the splicer's head, and again, I kill the splicer and clip through the wall. The point of all of that was to get into this cutscene room, but without hitting the cutscene trigger. Now I can pass through without watching the cutscene. It's time for the first big fight of the run. After some skull bashing with the wrench, the end opens up. I don't know any other way to get past this door, and I usually stay up to date on strats. But I can skip the final cutscene in this room. This is the cutscene trigger, but the devs made a small mistake and didn't extend it to the wall. I can carefully squeeze by and leave the level. Medical Pavilion is a big level. It introduces new plasmids, powerful weapons, and helpful tonics, all things that are useless to me. The door to leave the level is right next to the start, so I'll just clip into the end. I use the railing to set up another wall clip, but the gate I need to clip through is pretty far away. To close the gap, I need some extra help. The next tool needed to complete low percent is called the ragdoll glitch. When I'm on the splicer's dead body, it's really hard to move it. But if I use the machine gun to kill the splicer, I can push the body very easily. This is the ragdoll glitch, and it's my primary way to move bodies. But there's two big problems. First, if the body stops moving, it goes back to being hard to move, and it's fairly easy to lose the ragdoll glitch. If I misplace a single wrench swing, it's all over. Second, and arguably the bigger problem, I don't have a machine gun. However, security bots also shoot bullets and start the ragdoll glitch, and the game gives me one at the start. I quickly hack it to turn it friendly, then I rush onto the splicer's head. My bot kills the splicer, and the ragdoll glitch is active. I push the body over to the gate and clip through. As you can see, it's not the easiest to control, but this is the fastest method to clip through the gate. And once again, because I have no collision with walls or doors, I clip right through. Those first two levels were definitely not easy, but we're about to crank the difficulty up to 11. This is Neptune's bounty, the nightmare of low percent. We pass through some rooms and arrive at the crux of the level, this door. The only way to open it is with the camera, which I can't get. Additionally, it's not possible to get a splicer in here to wall clip. Under this section of the map, there's a sewer system that I can access. It goes back for a while, so far back that the end is past that locked door. I'll go to the end of the sewer and then wall clip up. To do this, I need the third tool of low percent, bot clips. In Bioshock, you can also use security bots for wall clips. If you walk on top of an active bot, you're able to go through walls, just like with splicers. If I get a bot in these sewers, I can use it to clip up, getting past that door. There's a deactivated bot nearby. This is very lucky. The next closest bot is over 3 minutes away. I hack it and guide it to the sewer. I need to go through here, but the bot is bigger than this gap. Moving the bot in general is difficult with only the wrench, and forcing it through here often takes minutes. It's brutal. Once I finally get it through, the clip itself is pretty easy. The bot naturally flies up, so I don't need to do too much. I continue on to the peachy boss fight. This section is just as bad, if not worse than the sewer. Out of the frying pan into the freezer. There's no skip to be done here, so I hit Peachy with the wrench until he's super dead. I also clear out all the other enemies. There's 2 messes of ice blocking the exit. I don't have incinerate, but I can still make fire. I push these 2 explosive barrels down the stairs towards the ice. If I shoot a barrel, it explodes, but that doesn't melt ice. However, before it explodes, it lights on fire for a few seconds. This on fire effect will melt the ice. I don't have a pistol, but I can call more security bots. I prepare the first barrel on top of the ice, so if I stand next to the barrel, the bot will eventually hit it, giving me a small window of time to melt the ice. By now, there's around 30 seconds left in the security alert, In that time, I need to move the second barrel without the bot shooting it. This is somewhat RNG. I need to get another on fire effect, and then push the barrel into the ice to melt it. Failing would be a huge time loss. It's not unusual for this level to take well over 10 minutes. The best I've ever done it is 7, which is still a long time. The first 3 levels of Low Percent have more crazy glitches and absurd strategies than most categories have in the entire game. But I've made it to Smugglers. I can take a breath. This level is mostly walking. It's a brief respite before we descend back into the madness. There is one skip on this level. You activate this lever while walking backwards. There's just enough time to get through the door before it closes. This skip is easy. I'm going to enjoy it while I can. Arcadia is a big place, but mostly rural. If you're looking for a skip to do, I'd start later in the level. This is the only important room in Low Percent. The door to leave the level is in the back. There's a physical trigger in the middle of the room. If I touch the trigger, the door closes. Most speedrun categories do everything they can to avoid this trigger. But in Low Percent, I don't have a lot of options. In fact, I have so few options that the best one is to just hit the trigger. I intentionally walk into the trigger, causing the door to close. But if I look closely at the door, it bears a striking resemblance to Welcome to Rapture. A locked door in the middle and a small platform to the right. I have a splicer chase me and use the rocks to get on his head. And just like Welcome to Rapture, I attack and do a mouse flick down, causing the splicer to fall into the door. I did this same wall clip at the start of the game. Back then, it seemed so intimidating. But compared to everything else, now it doesn't seem so bad. As Fort Frolic begins, I hit the slot machines. The first time you play, it's guaranteed to give you $25. Gathering money is something we don't do in any percent, but it's very important for Low Percent. I walk over and break this glass, which calls a security bot. I didn't mention it last time, but I can't hack any old security bot. I normally need to hit the bot with a plasmid, like Electrobolt, to stun it. But without plasmids, I need to find an alternative. If I use a bot shutdown, the bot has a heart attack and f***ing dies. This is why money is so important in Low Percent. Using the bot shutdown isn't free, and I'll need to use bots again in the future. After a shutdown, I'm able to hack it. To hack the bot, I can do this stupid puzzle minigame, or use an auto hack. And as you see, I have 5 auto hacks, the max I can carry. I didn't mention it, but in addition to all these crazy skips, I've been going out of the way to collect auto hacks. As the run goes on, hacking will be more important. Just like medical, the exit to Fort Frolic is right next to the start. The bathysphere goes down, but the lever to leave the level is still there. It's just invisible. I'll use the security bot to get past the closed gate. I push the bot next to this bench. As the bot starts to fly up, I get on top of it. When it gets high enough, I jump off, landing on the rail. I can get to the end from here. Hephaestus starts with a walking section through a few tunnels and rooms. The exit is behind this section of the wall. The main area of the map is through this side door, but just like the other levels, I'm going to wall clip to the end, ignoring everything else. There's a melee splicer at the start, so I can lead him through the early section of the level and bring him to the final room. I use the electric lock on the door to get onto his head. These electric locks are annoying. I can't wall clip through them. This makes the effective clipping area pretty small. I'm going to clip through this left side. The clip itself is also harder. I can't do it like before. The positioning for that just doesn't work in this spot. Instead, I need the splicer to be standing here and attack into the wall. Even though I'm on the splicer's head, he still wants to kill me and is performing actions. He will do different actions based on where I stand. If I stand in front of the splicer, he moves forward and back. And if I stand in a specific range here, he enters a spin state and spins forever. This lets me change the splicer's direction between forwards and backwards movement. With these two positions and some patience, I can essentially move him anywhere I want. I get the splicer into the spot, then stop his movement with a spin. When he's facing the wall, I move so he attacks forward. This pushes me into and through the wall. I don't need to kill him, which is good, because splicers are starting to get more HP. Rapture Central Control features the famous Andrew Ryan cutscene. Most categories can skip this, but on low percent, I don't have the plasmids or weapons to do it. With only the wrench, I have to watch the cutscene. On the way to the cutscene, I do some simple jumps to get over an invisible wall. Then, I find this locked door. It opens after 2 required messages finish playing. I can skip these with an audio skip. If I open the radio messages menu and manually play a different message, this skips the message currently playing. Even though I didn't listen to it, the game still thinks I did. I do this again for the second required message, and the door opens mere seconds after I enter the room. I've been doing audio skips throughout the run to save small amounts of time. Now we get to the Andrew Ryan cutscene. After the cutscene ends, I activate the console. I need to do 2 more audio skips for the gate to open, but then I can walk to the end of the level. Olympus Heights and Apollo Square are paired levels. There's one objective, and I need to collect items across both levels to finish it. But I'm not doing that. I ignore Olympus Heights and run directly to Apollo Square. The end of Apollo Square is down these elevators, but there's an invisible wall blocking the path. Splicers and dead bodies are able to pass through, but I can't. Luckily, I have a glitch that lets me go through walls, visible or otherwise. Towards the start of the level, I grab this splicer and have him chase me. Along the way, I intentionally stand in the security camera to call security bots. The elevator and invisible wall are here, but I keep walking to get to this bot shutdown. Another $20 and auto hack gone. There's one big problem in all this. The bot will shoot the splicer, and the splicer will try to kill the bot and die, so I won't be able to wall clip. There's actually a simple solution. The splicer is chasing me, but if it never lands a hit, the bot won't recognize it as an enemy, giving me time to set up near the invisible wall. I just have to get the splicer's attention, call the bots, use the bot shutdown, hack the bot, and move to the setup spot, all while carefully managing my distance with the splicer. Too close, and the splicer hits me. Too far, and he runs away. And after all that hard work, I'm rewarded with a sweet setup right next to the invisible wall. I walk onto the splicer's head, and the splicer finally hits me, which has been a long time coming. The bot kills the splicer, starting the ragdoll glitch. From here, I hit the splicer down the stairs and past the invisible wall. And remember, if the splicer stops moving, even for an instant, the ragdoll glitch is broken and I'm stuck. When that's finally done, I can ride down the elevator. But I'm not going to. The elevator is slow, and this is a speedrun. Instead, I do a precise jump and squeeze my way down the elevator shaft. After the long fall down, my legs might be broken, but my spirit is high, knowing I just completed another challenging level. This level starts with some waiting around, and with only the wrench, I have no way to skip it. Point Prometheus has one of the most iconic tricks in the Bioshock speedrun, Last Chance Kid. When I enter this room, I lose control of my character for a moment. Fontaine quickly closes the door. But before that, I line up for a jump. Doing a precise jump hits some triggers in the wrong order, and gives me control of the character back early. This lets me run through the door. I guess I was faster than Fontaine was expecting. I'm lucky this works in low percent. Trying to clip through this door with only the wrench is really annoying. Trust me. Proving Grounds is an escort mission. We guard a little sister walking around the map. Along the way, she stops at 3 bodies to harvest them. At each body, I need to kill 6 special splicers to continue. There's also some rogue splicers wandering around. In addition to the combat, the little sister can either walk or run, and we want her to run. I'm not going to get into the sister's checkpoint system or different combat states. Suffice to say, it's difficult to keep her running in low percent. As I approach the first body harvest, I auto-hack the security camera. The camera will spawn security bots to kill the splicers for me. This speeds up the killing of splicers considerably. Bots do respectable damage to the splicers, unlike the wrench. After the 6 harvest splicers die, she stands up and we continue. The second harvest is basically the same. Hack a camera and kill the splicers as quickly as possible. The level gets interesting after we cross the middle section. Past this door are 3 sleeping splicers, and I don't have a great way to kill them. I could try to hack one of the earlier bots, but it's unlikely to still be alive at this point. The sister won't progress until they're dead, so I need some way to deal with them. And as a bonus, you sometimes get an angry security bot trying to kill the sister here too. You can try clever tricks, but to be honest, this fight usually devolves into me hitting them with the wrench a bunch. The third harvest is similar to the first 2. Hack the camera and do your best to kill the incoming splicers. As the level is winding down, there's one more enemy to deal with, a Big Daddy. When I hit a trigger here, the Big Daddy spawns and wants to kill me. That's a problem. The little sister stops progressing when I'm fighting the Big Daddy, and I can't guarantee I can kill the Big Daddy with only the wrench. With that in mind, I think I'll just stand here and not spawn the Big Daddy. I'm not joking, this is a legitimate strategy. Because this is the last enemy, the sister will finish the escort mission on her own, so all I have to do is wait here for her to unlock the ending. I use the rest of my money to max out my health kits before I go. They'll be needed in the last level. The level Fontaine is extra difficult because it removes my safety net. So far, I've used saves to retry hard tricks, but saving is disabled during the boss fight. The weight of the entire run is on my shoulders. One slip up can cause me to lose everything, but I need to lock in and remember all the challenges I've overcome to get here. Fontaine has 3 phases, so I have to kill him 3 times. He has a melee attack, a ranged elemental attack, and a charge. For the first phase, I stack up explosive barrels beforehand. He starts by shooting a ranged fireball at me. The explosion hits the explosive barrels and deals massive damage. The first phase is fast. I don't have enough time between phases to get more explosive barrels, so what's the best method to kill him? I've been staring at the answer the entire run. I'm going to hit him with the wrench until he dies. If I'm close to Fontaine, he only does melee attacks, and I need to be in front of him to get hit. So in theory, I can spin around Fontaine and hit him with the wrench without taking damage. But in practice, it's hard to never take a hit. Other enemies spawn too. If I'm not carefully watching my health, I can die and get sent to the main menu, probably losing the run on the spot. But I'm not worried. The entirety of Rapture couldn't stop me and my wrench. Fontaine never stood a chance. As I hit Fontaine with the needle one final time, the run ends. GG. Thanks for watching.